It's time to put the championship weekend jigsaw puzzle together. 2 teams in, 2 tickets punched today. The storied Syracuse program tries to get back to the game's biggest stage for the first time in more than a decade. Denver will scratch its 7-year championship weekend itch. Good afternoon, Anish Shroff alongside Quinn Kesnick. Towson has become Blue Blood Central.
It is. You think about the theme for this region. It's find your way back. Jefferson Starship, 1981. For Syracuse, 22 straight championship weekends. Think about winning this game, this money round, for 22 years straight. And for Johns Hopkins, they haven't been to the big dance in quite some time.
We'll see the Blue Jays later today. As for Syracuse, Gary Gait, their head coach, was very clear. This program is back when it plays next weekend. If it's going to play next weekend, it needs this offense to solve Denver's defense.
This is some kind of offense. Let me tell you, they play like they're the Globetrotters, and they're led by point guard Joey Spallina, 88 points, the sophomore from Long Island, okay? He can get to the goal using his body. He's not the fastest cat in the world, but he's got elite eyes, he's got elite hands, and his passing acumen as good as we've seen. He delivers dimes. They're always on target, they're catchable, and they're on time. Joey Spallina is an amazing quarterback behind the net.
And Spallina's on the verge of a 90-point season, something no Syracuse player has done in almost a quarter century. Meanwhile, this Denver team, defensively, they're very strong. Number 3 scoring defense. First-year head coach at Matt Brown, who is replacing a legend in Bill Tierney.
He's done a wonderful job right from the start. They've won 12 games this season, and they're defined by their style of play, and that starts with defense. Think about this unit ranking. Number 3 in the country in scoring defense. They'll play a man-to-man defense, but it's got zone qualities to it. They allow less than 10 goals per game. Their penalty kill unit, off the charts good. And then they win faceoffs. Alex Stathikas winning at a 61% rate himself. Dominating possessions for first-year coach Matt Brown, who's an assistant for longtime coach Bill Tierney.
And Bill Tierney had many memorable battles with Syracuse at both Denver, but most notably Princeton. Pioneers coming off a first-round win against Michigan. Matt Brown telling us that was the best his team has played all season. We asked Gary Gait if you feel pressure coming into this game. Quarterfinal, championship weekend at stake, and Gary said not quite the same pressure you would associate with Syracuse lacrosse. They have met or exceeded expectations getting here. He told us this team is free, they're loose, they play their best when they're free and loose.
3rd season for Coach Gait, the legend. 4-10 his first year, 8-7, and now he's got a team on the verge of making it to championship weekend. They're more focused on how to be a title team, he told us. Their last Final Four was back in 2013.
And the last time they were in the quarters, 2017, when Syracuse lost to Towson. We go to the face-off X. Mason Cone, the Tufts transfer for Syracuse, and Alex Stathikas, the Big East Specialist of the Year for Denver. Stathikas for his career, 60%. He wins the opening draw. Denver will go to work on offense. This is a team that blitzed Michigan early in round 1 and essentially put that game away in the opening quarter. The attack for Denver, number 2 in red, is Michael Lampert. First team all-conference, speedy. He's got shake. He's joined by Cody Malowski, a redshirt freshman, a great finisher on the inside, and the veteran J.J. Silstrop. They'll mix and match the midfield. Here is Josh Carlson, 6'1" redshirt junior from Centennial, Colorado. Jack Tortolani, Baltimore area kid, 26 in red on that first midfield, along with Mick Kelly, a homecoming for Kelly, who is from Towson, played at Calvert Hall, and had 5 points in round 1. Carlson.
Syracuse looks like they're in a zone defense here, which is a wrinkle. Surprising wrinkle, quite honestly.
Carlson gives Denver some range from the outside. He is a volume shooter. Matched up by Samalexo. Here comes Kelly. Hat trick last week. Gets the hand free, and it goes off the stick of Will Mark and trickles in. Mark has struggled the last 2 games, just 40%. This is somebody who is the NCAA's all-time active leader in saves.
Back-to-back weeks, Kelly has scored early for the Pios. Cuse goes to the zone. I thought it was effective. This is an outside shot late in the shot clock. Kelly catches a break there. That's stick side on Will Mark. 2 games in a row. He hasn't played to his capabilities. In fact, head coach Gary Gates brought in sports psychologist Dr. Greg Shelley to work with Will. Tough time of year to be in a funk as a netminder.
Happy homecoming for Mick Kelly. Towson native. Brother Johnny played at Ohio State, and Mark struggled last week in the ACC semi against Duke. He was pulled. Cone and Stathakis battle. Stathakis had it. Syracuse wins it back. Steven Schmidt. Now the ball's on the ground. A tempest of red and white. Syracuse comes away with it. The orange dangerous. Off scramble situations, off face-off wins, but they'll slow it up here and get their regular 6 field.
15, Sam English. 15 still Sam English by the substitution box here.
Michael Leo from the wing gets Syracuse even, and we're tied at 1 in this first quarterfinal from Towson.
Delayed flag. Foul's going to be against Denver. I think it was a slashing violation. Leo from a severe angle. This is an amazing shot, and the fact that he catches it half cradle and the ball's released. Kleeman a little slow to get pipe to pipe, but man, what an amazing shot from a severe angle. You can see Michael Leo playing some attack today. Christian Muley will be in and out as well. Versatile piece.
And Leo has the speed to win his matchup. New face-off man for Syracuse, John Mullen. Syracuse likes to go 2-2 early with Cone and Mullen. Jake Stevens, dangerous in transition. He's trail checked from behind. It's knocked away, loose ball. And out of the scramble, it's Denver. Mullen's only a freshman, a big kid, and these face-off battles will be fun to watch. Stathak is a veteran of many battles in the Big East, 60% for his career. And Syracuse, the two-headed monster of Mullen and Cone.
Gary Gate talking to the officials about Denver potentially being offsides on that play. They ran an attackman over onto their defensive end and then substituted through the box.
Short stick matchup here for big Richie Connell. Started his career at Richmond, 6'5".
Just gonna rag clock here until we're all even. Not all faceoffs are created equal.
Nope.
That power play faceoff is huge.
Denver getting top side. Good look there by Malowski. He's a Canadian. Dad Kurt, head coach of the Vancouver Warriors of the NLL. Both Dad and Uncle Derek in the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Look at Will Mark. Number's still okay for the season. He's struggled again of late. Got a yard sale.
Sunday in Stoneleigh.
Alexo is a threat in transition, 4 goals this season. He slams on the brakes. Leo now running out of the box. Denver's defense, Freehill, Hangland, DiBenedetto have played a lot of lacrosse together. Excellent with the rope unit led by Mercurio and Casey Wilson, who was on Team Canada last summer.
Man-to-man defense, you watch how condensed they are, how much they pack it in. They don't pick up until about 15 yards. And if they leave Joey Spallina open at X like this, like Towson did last week, this will be a funeral for the Pioneers. This is not the way to beat Syracuse.
Spallina, the ACC points leader, playing hangman, directing traffic. Still plenty of time to shoot. Now Spallina makes his move. Picked up by DiBenedetto. Plays it up top. Crease feed. Denver's defense comes through. Number 1, Jack Ettinger. 5th-year senior. He's a captain. He hails from just outside of Syracuse in Tully, New York. Syracuse has had some pretty good players come out of Tully over the years, namely the Hardys. Dad Bill was on Syracuse's first championship team. Tom Hardy had a huge goal in the 2002 semifinal against Virginia, overtime winner. And brother Dan had the game-winning assist in that 09 championship when Cody Jamieson beat Cornell.
Nice work by the far side Syracuse defender to press out against the Denver clear. That possession from Denver really a great example of how they want to play defense. Again, they're going to back it in, pack it in, bait the outside shot, or bait the inside crease feed. It's a man-to-man defense with zone switch principles. So they'll slide from the adjacent man.
Second midfield on for Syracuse. It's been a very productive unit. Spolino marked by DiBenedetto. Little two-man game with Muley. In goal for Denver, Malcolm Kleben, Big East goalkeeper of the year. Looking inside. That shot denied by Kleben. Clamps down. And Denver sets up its clear. A.J. Mercurio has got the ball now. 6 goals this season. First team all-conference 3 times in the Big East. That one hits the pipe off the stick of Ettinger. Now the speedy Lampert. Denver's turned it over 3 times, all caused by Syracuse. Io's probing patiently against the zone. J.J. Silstrop had that big game against Hopkins early in the year. Scored the last 4 goals, including the overtime winner. That shot skips over the cage. Nick Kelly, who has the Denver goal. Shot clock at 20. Lampert defended by Riley Figueres. Gets the pick. Lampert got top side. Too high of an arc. Shot on the run by Avery is knocked aside. Here comes Syracuse.
Got numbers.
They love these unsettled situations. Billy Dwan, a shot saved by Kleben. Dwan, 8 goals this season. The backup belongs to Denver. Adam Hangland with the hustle.
Kleben, the big senior from New York City, and Denver with 2 body saves.
And Denver going the other way. Mercurio loads up. Alexo tried to get in the way. Lampert's got the backup. 7:39 to go, opening quarter.
Denver's,
winner to championship weekend where Notre Dame awaits.
They're a fascinating team to study in that they've played some really low-scoring games this year. They've also played some really high-scoring games this year. So they're capable of playing at multiple speeds, and I think you get an indication from that last flurry. Syracuse transition, great stop by Kleben. Boom, they counterattack. They're willing to run.
And Matt Brown said the way Syracuse plays, they'll turn it over, they'll put it on the ground. You have to make them pay when they do that.
Orange in their zone defense.
That one hisses wide.
This was the unexpected wrinkle from defensive coordinator John O'Derna. You look at Richie Kahn eyeing that up from distance.
Carlson plays catch with Lampert. Working on the short stick. Leads to the wing.
Here we go.
Kowski back to Silstrup. Up top, Carlson steps into one. Bounce shot save mark.
Effective defense now, and that could build confidence-wise for Will Mark, who is an exceptional goalie. Talk about his recent struggles, but man, body of work, he's made a zillion saves. LIU transfer, 3 years there. In his second year for the Orange.
Owen Hilt, 77 in white, an exceptional passer from the wing. He led Syracuse in scoring in ACC play. Here comes English. The Princeton transfer beats Kleben and gives Syracuse a 2-1 lead. In the offseason, Gary Gate imported some postseason pedigree. Jake Stevens and Sam English coming over from the Princeton Tigers, key parts of a Final Four team 2 years ago.
Vastly experienced two-way midfielder. Splits this one right to left down the alley.
Their veterans and their experience are on the defensive end. They are young offensively, but this defense loaded with vets.
Basically, this is their same team that they had last year for Coach Brown. 7 grad students, 11 seniors. They didn't lose a single point to graduation, so it was not surprising that they got off to a great start in February and March.
Syracuse turns it over off the faceoff win by Mullen. Now, this is a Denver team that has wins against Hopkins, Cornell, Georgetown. They've won 3 games this year where they scored less than 10 goals. So they've been winning with defense in the shot clock era. And on the other side, you've got a Syracuse team which has won 80 straight when allowing less than 10.
Orange in their man-to-man scheme.
Stephen Avery, way wide. He's a senior from Nashville. He struggled with his shot, 6 of 39 coming into the game. Last year, 26 goals, second team all-conference. Lampert will initiate. Now up top, Nick Kelly. He's got the Denver goal. Matched by Alexo. Denver's missed its last 8 shots. Malowski, marked by Figueres. Good defense there by Riley Figueres. Avery goes to work on the short stick. 15 to shoot. Malowski again turns the corner and beats Mark. Syracuse lost him amidst the confusion behind the cage. Michael Lampert with the speed.
He is super quick, he's a spark, and he plays with great energy, and he is a presence from below the goal line extended, and now twice in this game he has dusted his man. The Syracuse defense lacks a cover player with elite speed, and Lampert as an ankle breaker and showing the acceleration, both righty and lefty can be a major factor. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Syracuse went to that zone defense early.
We saw Duke do this to Syracuse with McAdory just a few weeks ago in Charlotte. Cohen back out there for the Orange. Former face-off man of the year in Division III at Tufts. Now Syracuse pushes. English trail check from behind. Denver's defense.
That's where communication, Hiltz is yelling, on you, trail man, on you, watch your stick, watch your stick. It's hard to have eyes in the back of your head as a lacrosse player, and so you're reliant on your teammates to feed you information.
Here comes Carlson from the high wing. That's Big Richie Connell.
Man-to-man for Syracuse on D.
Carlson wing dodge. Gets the short stick, Levine. Carlson's a big body. Here's the help. Well-timed slide. Expelliarmus.
Terrific team defense. Figueres, the sophomore from St. John's College in D.C. Well-timed. He sees the back of the jersey. He takes off and doubles teams. It's a pinch double team on the corner. Love it.
Now Mark was about to throw it to the wrong guy. Able to recover. Syracuse gets it across with time to spare. Got to get it across midfield before that shot clock hits 60.
And that's communication. Dwan, 35 in whites, yelling back to his goalie, no, I'm covered. And sometimes as a goalie, you just turn and look and want to throw it.
Michael Leo wheels down the alley, gets break, leaving the crease cancel.
Denver now slow to double team. They're slow to slide, inviting Syracuse to score unassisted goals. So a Syracuse team, they're the Globetrotters. Their passing is exquisite.
But that's an opportunity for somebody like Leo who can beat his man one-on-one.
We saw it earlier with English on the split right to left down the alley. There was no double team in sight. That's twice now.
English, Leo, Stevens, those are guys that can win their matchups.
Who can get to the rack, exactly.
Silstrup marked by Dwan, 35 in white, a native of this area. Avery wheels it back to the far side. Almost a warding off. There's the slide. It comes back to Avery. Bounce shot, easy save for Mark. Didn't have the long outlet. Now Carter Rice. Here comes Syracuse. Trujillo dumps it back to Alexo. The Orange will settle.
4-on-4 now, decent time to go.
Stevens will wait.
Back in the old days, that was like green light city for Syracuse. You kidding me? 4-on-4 was
Let's go.
Boom. All gas, no brakes back in the day.
There's Roa. He got a good look. That hits the pipe. Rebound loose. Stevens picked it up and missed the cage. What was that like playing goalie when we're going 4-on-4?
I mean, I remember playing them in the Dome, and it was a one-goal game at halftime. We were trailing, and like, okay, good. We got them right where we want them. We'll slow this thing down. And they came out in the second half and played even faster and tattooed us for 19. It's kind of what they did to Towson last week. Towson got to halftime. You're kind of like that boxer. You're going back in the corner. Like, wow, I weathered the storm. No, you haven't, because we can play even faster.
Yeah, Towson led at 9-8 at halftime, and then Syracuse went on a 9-1 run playing Make It Take It Lacrosse in the third.
You're seeing Denver's defensive strategy, the complete 180 of what Towson did last week. Towson double-teamed Syracuse last week, which was a fatal flaw. They also let Joey Spallina sit behind the net and dice them up. That, too, didn't work. So you're seeing complete different strategy from Denver.
Carlson sledgehammers down the alley and beats Mark. Upstairs, 3-2 Denver.
Let's go!
Senior from Arapahoe. Righty. Still finding upside as a veteran player. Speed on display, and watch the subtle head fake at the end of this. Gets the goalie thinking low. Just a little nod of that chin, little bobblehead. You give the goalie that little bobblehead. Pops it top shelf.
Final minute, quarter number one, face-off violation against the Pioneers. 2 ties, 2 lead changes. You mentioned Syracuse's win against Towson. The Orange last week dropped 20 on what was the #1 scoring defense in Division I. Today they face the #3 scoring defense, and should Syracuse advance, Notre Dame's a top 5 scoring defense as well.
You love those stats. I just sense you love those stats.
Scoring defense.
Scoring defense.
Scoring defense. It's low-hanging fruit. Sometimes you eat it. There's Finn Thompson. He played well down the stretch over to Hiltz. He's been quiet so far. We're cutting Thompson. Can't catch the pass clean. Canadian to Canadian. There's the skip, the through pass.
77 in white is an amazing passer.
English tried to thread the needle to Moulet. It's a turnover.
Syracuse offense is at its best when they're operating and they get the ball to Hiltz off of a dodge, and then he can throw those through passes, the skip passes, and 77 can make things happen.
Well, that takes us to the end of quarter number one. 15 minutes in the books. A trip to Philadelphia and the national semifinals on the line. Pios haven't been there since 2017. Syracuse hasn't been there since 2013. Denver leads by 1 after 1.
JoJo was a really terrific passing midfielder, a guy who could operate from up top, wing, or behind, and created offense. One of my favorite Cuse players, and one of the best 22s in recent memory.
These two teams playing for the first time since that semifinal. Cohn wins the faceoff. Cleveland got a piece of it.
Cleveland's been good. He's been really good. Comes in at 50%, as you said. Big East goalie of the year. A lot of body stops. He's a big cat. He'll fill it up.
Had to win the job in camp this year. Benedetto has the matchup on Spallina. Syracuse has won the last 5 faceoffs using the sub game. Spallina probing from X. Took a shot to the face. No flag.
NCAA tournament. You see less penalties. I think the officials yesterday in the quarterfinals up in Hartford did a terrific, A+ job.
Ettinger bowled over Muley. Now Muley has it. He gives Syracuse a second quarterback. Lehigh transfer, draws the slide. It gets away. Scrap, scrap, scrap. Stick flies. We'll get a procedure call on Ettinger for playing without a stick. And it comes back to Syracuse. Stevens, the trigger man.
With a reset.
Yeah, shot clock resets to 60. Stevens on the run, feeding the wing.
Such a packed-in man-to-man scheme. Denver doesn't seem to want to get in the sliding business here today. There's no double teams coming.
Roa on the far side, part of that second to midfield with Stevens and Birtwistle. Roa to Birtwistle. Spun around, no angle. Shot is turned back, rolling toward midfield. And that's going to be over and back. Now some words being had on the near side.
The officials are off in their own little huddle.
Yeah, that's over and back. That was an easy call. It's Denver ball.
That was interesting because you had 3 officials on the 50 in the middle. They were having like the Yalta conference.
Yalta conference, yeah.
And you had 5 players right underneath our press box squaring off and jawing at each other.
The only way that's not over and back is if Denver had established possession. They never did, so Syracuse came up with that ground ball.
And East Denver's defense right now, confusing the Syracuse.
How?
They're playing that man-to-man, really packed in. Nobody's sliding, and it seems like Syracuse is a little hesitant to try to win a matchup and score a goal. It's a simple lacrosse. It's a simple game. Beat your man, score a goal.
Malowski takes Carter Rice back to X. Redshirt freshman from Canada. He's a southpaw.
Creative.
Gets to his left hand. Mark, the body save. Malowski gets his own rebound. Well-timed double. Another stick check. And it will be Syracuse ball.
I believe the call is Malowski playing without his stick. So he gets tattooed. He's down on the ground and somehow makes contact with a Syracuse player, I think.
In the PLL, they let you play without the stick, not in college.
Left side of your screen. Boom, stick dislodged.
Was he playing without a stick?
There was contact with the other player. To me, it was not important in the play.
English pedals around the perimeter. He's got a goal and an assist.
Switch up that matchup.
English, a 30-goal scorer 2 years ago on Princeton's Final Four team. Leo doesn't want the pick. Instead, he's got the alley dodge. Change up, goes awry. Popped into the air. Finn Thompson at it. Dislodged. You see those Denver's long poles flying. Now Leo the ride. Dangerous along the end line. It hits the back of the net, and Cleveland's there to dig it out.
Denver catches a break because that's a cardinal sin to save the ball in your own defensive end.
Counterpunch by the Pios coming. Well, they might have had something. They had a trailer. Instead, will settle. Dan Anderson, 27 in red. He's a short stick D-midi from Syracuse, coincidentally. Now Noah Manning, 22 goals this season. He's the 4th attackman, and he's their number 4 midfielder. essentially a de facto first liner.
They like this matchup. Look at him post up here.
Manning against Trujillo. Manning turns the corner. Mark takes away the angle.
Will Mark's been sharp after that first goal.
That's a big sign for Syracuse. Kleben's been strong for Denver.
Look, on his best days, Will Mark is as good as any goalie in the country. Think about that effort he had against Duke in the Dome this year, where he held the Blue Devils to 4 goals.
He was 14 of 18 in that game. Trujillo wanted Jake Spallina. Jake, brother of Joey, able to pick it up. Here's Stevens.
Can't recall a game where I've seen so many players lose their stick. Again, it's not 70-ish degrees out. It's very humid, 88% this morning. Down about 70 right now.
Comfortable weather. Spallina looking for Moulet. Stevens has it stick checked away from behind. Caldwell.
Orange are clearly out of sync in their half-field sets. This does not look good at all.
An offense that came in averaging 15 goals per game. Not getting comfortable sets, not getting comfortable looks. The ball movement, the globetrotter style of lacrosse, we haven't seen that.
I'm not sure that style is going to work today. What they need to do is move their offense and create space for long dodges. So clear out of side, get Leo the ball. Clear out of side, get English the ball. Spread the defense out, pull them to one side and attack the other side.
Lampert gets the pick. Lampert now picked up again by Figueres. Trying to shoot it up top. That's going to be over and back against Denver. Quick restart coming for Syracuse. 6 turnovers for the Pios. Pace of play, the tempo, the score, all favor Denver.
Absolutely. And so that becomes a question for Gary Gate. How long can we play this tempo?
Leo's a guy who can win a matchup, and he's got a short stick defender now. Got Nick Kelly out there.
What can Syracuse do to create more tempo in this game? Well, they can ride.
English, wing dodge. We're seeing that a lot from both teams.
That was better. That was better, English.
But the inability
English
for both teams to catch passes cleanly.
It's been sloppy, yes.
Leo through traffic bounces it in, and he's the guy that can win that matchup one-on-one. It's becoming a broken record.
Lefty, sophomore from St. Anthony's. He's the movable chess piece from midfield to attack with a wing dodge, rollback, re-dodge to the middle, sensing that the double team didn't have much impact. Michael Leo.
World Championships.
We felt that Maryland could defend Duke. And you and I, we covered North Carolina beating Duke, and if North Carolina could defend Duke, certainly Maryland could defend Duke. The biggest surprise to me was that Maryland now, back-to-back weeks, scoring goals. 16 against Princeton, 14 yesterday. That wasn't an offense that really, late portions of the season was struggling to get to double digits.
Duke really struggled all season just to find consistency against better teams. You were never quite sure of what version of that team would show up, and it finally caught up to them yesterday.
6-0 following a loss. John Danowski's team 7-6 they end the season following a win.
Mark, right here.
And John Tillman is now 10-1 in the quarterfinals as Maryland's head coach. Luke Weirman was masterful. Goaltending was outstanding. McNaney, who was the MOP of the tournament 2 years ago for Maryland when they had the undefeated season.
It's a very stingy defensive team that suddenly can't miss, shooting over 40% in the tournament.
They're going to win the possession battle when they got a Luke Weirman. English misses high.
It's the right play by English. 15 in white, grad student at Princeton via prior to that Culver.
Spallina maneuvering around X. DiBenedetto holding his ground. 88 points for Spallina. One more, he moves into a tie for fourth on the single season list. Good look there by Finn Thompson. He and Spallina came to Syracuse together last year, part of the #1 recruiting class in the country. Denver now sets up the clear.
Love that save by Kleben, the way he turns fast and is set and ready before the shot is triggered. You don't turn with the ball, you turn in front of the ball, so when it hits the attackman's stick, you're in position and ready to react. Another body stop for the goalie from Denver. He's got 5.
Carlson from goal line extended, knocked away. Connell using that hip. He's 6'5". Denver had the ball, they call it timeout before it hit the turf. 5:48 to go, opening half. Syracuse and Denver tied at 3. It's been a low-scoring affair.
And that means making the playoffs, step 1. Winning a playoff game, step 2. Making it to championship weekend. That's what's at stake today. That's step 3. Step 4 is the national championship.
Once you get to championship weekend in central New York, the yard marker changes in terms of expectations.
Zone D off the timeout.
Carlson with a hot shot. Mark saw it all the way. He's seeing it well today.
The best thing about the zone defense is it's gotten Will Mark back to where he is seeing the ball better. And I love the move early in a game. That way Denver takes some outside shots and you can build your confidence. So you know you come into a game with a goaltender who may be lacking that confidence. If you're a coach out there, that's a good strategy. Hey, let's start in zone. He may see a diet of outside shots.
Here's the second midfield. Stevens spins it to X. Now Luke Roa. Roa using the pick. Almost a moving pick from Burt Whistle.
Roa's a righty.
He's got the short stick matchup. Moving to his left. Syracuse will have the backup here.
It's fine. Edinger, nice defense. The grad student out of Tully, as you said, he's converted offensive midfield, but knowing your scouting report, strong hands. Is he righty or a lefty?
Spallina wearing the most fabled jersey in lacrosse. 22 for Syracuse, and he has it just taken away. Now the defense that time by Syracuse native Dan Anderson, 27 in red.
This is not the type of game that Joey Spallina can take over. He took over last week's game against Towson.
8 points last week.
Because the ball was just sizzling. It was dizzying ball movement. This is a more structured game where the focus for Syracuse's offense is going to be on isolations. Who can beat their man, who can penetrate, dribble, and get to the rack.
We come up on 4 minutes to play. First half tied at 3. McKelly has one of the 3 for Denver. Feeds it back up top to Manning. Wheeling down the alley. Silstrup wanted it. Silstrup was camped out in the crease. Now he gets it. J.J. Silstrup does not have a shot today. Denver's leading goal scorer with 27. Here's the double team. Chance here for the Pios. They got Syracuse moving. Molowski maneuvering. Here's a hard shot turned away. Avery, senior out of Nashville. It'll reset the shot clock to 60. 3:20 to go in the half. Avery has not scored in 5 games. Gary Gate calls a timeout with 3:17 to go. 1 timeout left for both teams now.
But to me, the portal additions, Sam English, Jake Stevens,
Mason Cone.
Fogo Mason Cone.
McKelly dancing out of the restraining area. Enters the box.
Denver 3 of 16 shooting.
Will Mark 4 for 4 in the second quarter. Drop, spins it back. Malowski,
Left-handed.
on the short stick. Another save by Mark, his 5th of the quarter.
It's a good one. He was tempted to dip and go down. Will Mark at times can be a flopper, but he holds his base and keeps that stick up at the last second. It's a nice job. Takes discipline. That mid-range shot from the wing there, it's all about discipline. Just trusting your hand-eye coordination.
Ulay matched up with Jimmy Freehill, the Big East Defensive Player of the Year, junior out of Massachusetts. Leo with 2 of the 3 Syracuse goals. Very nearly an unforced error. English, Fred Astaire's the sideline. English going low to high, but too high. 30 seconds to shoot.
Not only Fred is staring the sideline, but he swam. He Michael Phelps the ref.
I'm not sure the ref was able to see clearly if he stepped on the sideline or not. English using the pick from Thompson. Tries to dump it back to Thompson. That pick and roll game did not work. Cuse 1 for its last 11. Ulay gets sandwiched. A little past lunchtime. Now Casey Wilson for Denver, 59 in red. He's an offensive player in box lacrosse. As a collegiate, we saw him as a standout for Team Canada last summer in San Diego.
One of the best in the country.
Sticks flying. Malowski turned away by Mark. Rebound comes to Connell. Amtrakking through the defense. And Matt Brown wants a timeout.
Little chaos, and Brown decides to slow it down, but Mark again making a wonderful stop. I tell you, both teams at halftime, Anish, you're going to have to get out the video clips and figure out something on offense. It shows me that they're making astute adjustments, and the players are able to assimilate that into the game plan.
Bauer was a long time. Bill Tierney, consigliere at Princeton. At Carolina recently with Joe Bresci.
Cuse has done a nice job playing picks when they're in the man-to-man defense. A lot of razor picks you're seeing at the goal line extended far out. Denver's attacked this defense with those picks at goal line extended.
Now looking to isolate the short stick here.
Dominate, Cody. Dominate. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Come on, Bryson.
Lampert working on Rice. Shot from the outside. It is a hammer, and it lands.
Gotta love the timeout and the single invert as Pio fans rejoice.
Ty Hussey, his 8th goal of the season. The man from Aurora, Colorado, who said playing for Denver fulfilled a childhood dream.
Step down city. Cuse defense respecting the potential penetration from behind the net, and they lose their matchups and then have to approach Hussey, who's able to catch, take a look at it, and buries that one overhand. I love just a fundamentally sound ability to catch, rotate, and shoot three-quarter arm or overhand.
30 seconds to go in this first half. That was the first goal by Denver in this second quarter. Denver went more than 15 minutes without a goal. Chance to tack on, final seconds. Half number 1, long pole shot. This is the cage. Lampert, or rather Silstrop, has the backup. Denver looking to tack on. 10 seconds. Lampert denied top side. Question mark dodge, crease feed, Mark has it. 2 seconds. A mangonel downfield, and half number 1 ends. A defensive slugfest. Sticks flying, helicopter checks, and now some fireworks near the Syracuse bench. And the officials get in there to break things up right away. Jack DiBenedetto
There was a little bit of a skirmish on that long pass between the Syracuse attackman and the Denver defender, who then after the long shot went wide, Anish, the Denver defender looked like he was hurt. His teammates came to his rescue, and we had a little action in front of the orange bench. Matt Brown now asking for clarification.
Officials trying to get in the way. Now, DiBenedetto was the first Denver player out there near that Syracuse bench. He's been guarding Spolina pretty much this entire first half.
Tail end of this play. It's just a long heave towards the goal. You're hoping for good things to happen. Now, defensively, you're going to take arms. Hard to see top of your screen right there. You see the aftermath. Why does that defender for Denver go down?
And that's what Cleveland is talking about.
Malcolm is saying you can't do that. You know, we don't know what it was. We can guess or think what we think it was, but we didn't see it, so we can't say it. But I will tell you this. What's intriguing about this game, the unpredictability, this sport. You think about high-scoring games yesterday. Who would have thought we go into halftime 4-3? You never know what you're going to get, and that's what makes this pretty cool.
It's been a physical game. The end of the first half certainly offered up some physicality. Both teams have gotten stellar play in the cage. It's the Pioneers. 30 minutes from championship weekend. They lead Syracuse 4-3 at the break.
What's been in vogue? Caused turnovers, combined 12 in this game. Now keep in mind, Syracuse on the season, they've only been held below a dozen goals twice, okay? As you said, according to Lax reference, 3 goals on 19 possessions in that first half. That's 16% efficiency. Your goal in terms of efficiency is going to be about a third. So you want to be 30%, 33%-ish, according to our statistician, Russ DeLynn.
Now, Lax reference tells us that is the second worst first half for Syracuse in the last 4 seasons.
So now there are basic adjustments that you need to make offensively.
What are they for Denver?
Well, if you're Denver, I think the question is how you're attacking Syracuse if they do sit in their zone. That looked like it caught the Pioneers off guard. So tweaking your zone offense.
Here is Sylstrom.
Again,
no shots.
The fundamentals of attack, now they're man-to-man Syracuse, but the fundamentals of attacking his zone defense, the same in lacrosse as there are in basketball. Step into a seam, draw 2, move the ball to the adjacent, and then attack the inside.
Yeah, they get a matchup here off a switch. Lampert against the short stick Levine. Lampert goal line extended. Now Dwan comes to pick him up.
We got 20 now. We got 20. Keep driving. I'm here.
Malowski plays it back up top. Nothing there for Sylstrom. Still looking for that first shot. Shot clock into single digits. Malowski to that trickle in. It is a goal. That's 2 that Will Mark has allowed where he's gotten a stick on it.
Be interesting to see if Gary Gay throws the challenge flag here. If he asks for a review, and he's looking at the iPad on the far side of the field right now. Will Mark is not giving him any indication. Will's got the best angle other than the official who was right on goal line extended. You see Coach Gay looking at the iPad. The entire lacrosse ball must cross the entire goal line. Shooter pays the price. Mark gets a piece and the ball trickles there on the goal line. I don't see the entire ball over that blue line.
We got to freeze it. We have to freeze it. Let's see if we have the angle. And important to remember, the call on the field was goal, so you need conclusive evidence and indisputable evidence to overturn the call if there's a challenge.
The entire ball over the line.
But here's the deal, Quinn. The call on the field was goal, so is there anything that you see without any margin of doubt that would tell you that you can overturn that call?
I would say no.
Right.
I would say that goal will likely stand. Thought replay review was used to perfection in yesterday's quarterfinal game with Maryland Duke. This ball looks like it hit the post, hit Will Mark, and then has some momentum going towards the corner.
I'm not sure that angle is going to help.
No. Entire ball. Entire ball.
I'm just not sure there's anything there to overturn.
You're exactly right, because if that was called a no goal, there's nothing there to say that it was a goal.
That's why the call on the field still matters, just like football.
The referee had a really strong angle. He's right at goal line extended, outside the right side of your screen. And they're showing it up on the big screen here.
After review, the
Jeffrey
goal has been
Hoffman.
confirmed. Good goal.
Confirmed. Wow. Were you surprised the verbiage was confirmed?
Yes. Look, we're at a situation here at Towson. We're I don't know, 100 yards above the field and 60 yards off it, so it's hard for us to see in real action, real live action. So we're just relying on the monitors like the officials are.
We're being told, again, the officials don't have access to any replay angles that we don't have, so they're seeing what we see. But again, based on the initial call, we didn't see anything to overturn that. So 5-3, and that's 2 goals now that Mark has had his stick on. The first one by McKelly, and now this 5th one by Malowski.
These are tough games to play, and he's not used to playing this type of game, honestly. And Syracuse has been playing in the teens all season long. You can live with giving up a goal or 2 along the way because you're seeing such a more, more robust menu of shots. This is a low shot game, a low scoring game. Every mistake matters.
When he played at LIU, there were games where it felt like he was defending the Alamo. Had a 30 save game once as Malowski missed the cage.
This is one of those pre-shot clock feeling games.
Now Syracuse has had a quarterfinal like that. Go back to 2011. The famous Catalino wine mixer. Shot on the run. They beat Mark Lowe. And Denver has a 3-goal lead, which in a game like this feels massive.
Gary Gate looking for energy on his bench. Ty Hussey, his 2nd of the game, the senior from Aurora High School in Colorado. Played for the Denver Elite. He just leans in right-handed and turns the corner. No double team. The Orange leave their shorty out on an island. Heavy cross check, but he does a great job of keeping his feet moving and turns the corner. Gets more to the middle of the field, and that puts pressure on Mark because it brings the far post into play. Hussey's got a pair.
Stathakis and Mullen. Oh, we get a hold on Syracuse. Denver ball. 2 goals in a minute for the Pioneers.
It's 3 straight now for the Pios. And the bigger question mark, adjustment-wise, if you're Syracuse, is you probably can't play zone down 3 now, okay, because Denver's just going to eat into the clock. And what can you do to inject some energy, transition, more possessions into this game?
Connell's got a short stick matchup, plays it up top to Manning.
I thought that was a flaw that showed up yesterday in Duke's loss to Maryland. Duke did nothing to dictate the way that game was going to be played. Great teams dictate something.
Silstrup, a lefty, fires on the run. It's blocked. Ball loose in front. Mark slams down in the crease. He's got an outlet to Rice. He's in traffic. Dislodged. Denver wins it back on the ride. Now Syracuse able to get it back. Rice plays it up ahead. Can the Orange push? Dwan's been a threat in transition. His pass tipped by DiBenedetto. Spolina retrieves it near the sideline, gets pushed from behind. No flag. The Syracuse bench can't believe it.
Holy.
Denver the other way. Big moment. Lampert with a great look, and it whistles wide. How is that not a push with possession? Jeffrey Hoffman, Timothy Chechia, Fred McCarrick, the officials today.
Here's the play on the sideline.
And that's push with possession, isn't it? I mean, it's clear as day.
From the rear. It's not from the side. It's.
Now listen, I get letting them play. It's been a physical game. You try not to make this about the officials. Here comes Carlson. Wheeling, dealing, turbining. That one wide by Mick Kelly.
And he's in the challenge for the athlete. The next play matters. That's what you're constantly thinking in this sport. Make the next play. You can't control what happens prior. Everything's about what's next.
Weak.
Carlson from the high wing against Trujillo. Dumps it off to Kelly. Draws the slide. Kelly takes his defender behind the cage. 15 to shoot. Now Lampert, first team all Big East. Denver continues to move it. Probing the defense, gets inside, and they score. Oh, the Pioneers were patient, and the patience rewarded. It's the redshirt freshman Malowski with his second.
This is a thing of beauty. The flash play of the day. Listed as a sophomore, he took a gap year and practiced with the team all season. He just can do different things. The big toe drag, I mean, that is sensational. Most guys would do a face dodge there or a roll, but he goes to the toe drag and smokes them. I mean, whoop, bye-bye. Four straight now for the Denver Pioneers as they're starting to seize control, and this is danger time for Gary Gait and Syracuse.
Stathakis back out at the face-off X. This was a concern for Gary Gait. He said if you win a face-off against Denver, they don't let you escape often after a face-off win. Now we get a flag. Delayed penalty on Denver. Free possession for Syracuse. Pioneers with a 3-goal blitz here in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. They scored late in the first half, and a 3-3 game is now 7-3 Pios. Owen Hiltz, this attack for Syracuse, awfully quiet. Hiltz and Spallina have yet to register a point.
Can't beat their man.
Hiltz, left hand free. It was deflected, and now Syracuse will unleash its man-up unit, which clicks at 43%.
I like that move from Hiltz. He curls top side, actually beats his man to get a good shot. He puts some pressure on Kleben. It's a good save. Malcolm Kleben has been solid as a rock in this game. Here's the call. Was it a makeup call for Pryor? Perhaps, but it's one call that's got to be made. Spallina with the bobblehead. As he'll position himself behind the net now. This is almost critical that this extra man unit scores here.
Owen Hiltz over the last 2 years has been a big part of that extra man as a scorer and a feeder. Last year he had 14 man-up assists. He's got 6 man-up goals this season. Spallina off-ball, dangerous here too. Burt Whistle's been a man-up assassin in his Syracuse career.
This man-down unit, best in the country.
Hiltz loves the through pass from that high wing. Leo. Now Stevens. Leo looking for the crease feed, not there. Denver closed quickly.
Wow. Terrific 5-man rotation defensively.
Hiltz up top. Stevens a rocket.
It's there.
Line.
The 12-yard shot is there in these. They're really sacrificing, protecting the middle at the expense of the outside shot.
Well, Gary Gait did tell us for Syracuse to win, they would have to knock down some 10, 11-yard shots. Syracuse continues to probe. Unable to get into the landlocked navel of that man-down defense, and now a shot clock violation.
#1 penalty kill unit in the country.
For good reason.
The Pioneers, and it won them the Cornell game early in the season. The specialty situations they have won. They win the inches, whether it's face-offs, man up, man down.
Teams came into this game 5 for 30 on the season with the extra man against Denver. And
They're just plus 15 in man up, man down. On the
right.
year. So that's a goal a game. You think that matters?
Absolutely.
Big time.
Especially when you play low-scoring games.
So many stats are numbers, Anish, but I love the plus-minus stats.
I'm with you. Looking for Tortolani. That gets away. It's a turnover. And Quint.
And what I mean by that is cause turnovers versus turnovers yourself. You know, sometimes the stats don't tell the full story.
Well, ground balls is a great example. Ground balls should be a plus-minus stat because aggregate ground balls, that's based on how fast you play and possessions. But you could be a team that racks up a lot of ground balls and you're +1, +2. Is that really a big deal?
And I'd love to see ground balls, face-offs taken out of ground ball stats. So I'd love to see non-face-off ground balls per team.
How about a stat that charts possession off a face-off? Spolina, rather Stevens. Oh boy, right on the doorstep. 7:13 to go, third quarter. Denver with a 7-3 lead. And this defense has a stranglehold right now in this Syracuse offense.
Denver in their base man-to-man defense, they've been slow to double team, slow to slide today, forcing Syracuse to beat them off the dodge.
The ball movement that's been a staple of this offense has just not been there. Leo, he's got 2 of the Syracuse 3. We've seen that a lot. Might have been a push. Loose ball push. It'll reset the shot clock to 60. Denver +9 in the shot department. Spolina, 8 points in round 1, none today. Spolina from X. Posting up. Now Leo. Good defense by Giles. Wing dodge Stevens. There's the double. Plays it back. Roa fires on the run. Might have been a spot for a one more, maybe, Quint?
It's a rare double team. I thought he should have brought the ball to the near side of the field, off of that, maybe then for a step down. It's a long defensive possession now. Your lungs are burning, your legs are a little gassed if you're Denver.
1 goal in the last 30 minutes for Syracuse. The number 3 scoring defense has gotten the best of the number 3 scoring offense. Leo coughs it up, and Denver with the caused turnover. Pios pushing on the doorstep, it squeaks through. Silstrop gets on the board. 5 unanswered for Denver.
They can feel it, they can taste it. There's big time belief. 3-3 tie, they have blown open to an 8-3 advantage. And after this long offensive possession by Syracuse, a Herculean effort by the Pios defense. Who's going to be the third man in on the ground ball? Who's the next guy? Well, there he is. A.J. Mercurio is off to the races. 1 more down low. Pios in business. But the key to that play to me was A.J. Mercurio and his reaction to the loose ball. He was the next guy there. You always preach to young people, like, be the third man in, whether it's hockey or lacrosse.
Syracuse wins the face-off, and it now sets up a bit more of an adventurous clear. These shorties for Denver, Anderson, Ettinger, Casey Wilson, it's a pretty elite rope unit. You throw in Mercurio, who's one of the best LSMs in the country, Ryan Giles, another senior, to go along with a veteran close defense. Denver knows their formula to win games, and it starts on the back end. Hill shoots on the run. Kleben has been a stone wall, another save. Syracuse has put more than half of its shots off cage.
Look, that was a high quality save. Malcolm's having himself a game, man. He's been the man in the middle of this defense. Born in Denver, raised in Harlem, New York, and then his family moved back to Denver when he entered school there.
7 saves for Kleben.
Look, his numbers aren't off the charts on the year, only 51%, but he was a Big East goalie of the year and played really well in clutch moments.
Denver in the postseason for the first time in 3 years this season. Avery, the senior from Nashville, has it scooped up by Mark. And you're looking at Will Mark when he makes the saves. He's looking up. The outlets aren't there. The transition opportunities largely have not been there.
Syracuse has, again, 3 goals. Their attack has been held scoreless. They've got no face-off goals, no transition from defense to offense. At this point, they've got to do something to change the tempo and pace of this game.
Syracuse has not overcome a 5-goal deficit in more than 6 years.
To be bold. Look, if you're going to lose, again, you want to go out fighting, and you've got to change what you're seeing right now if you're Gary Gay.
Stevens got wide open, a rare lapse by this Denver defense, and the Princeton transfer goes upstairs on Kleben. It's 8-4, ending a lengthy scoring drought for the Orange.
That's a positive. Jake Stevens is a veteran with tons and tons of experience. Remember, he played in over 50 games at Princeton. Grad student now. This is just a situation where communication was lacking defensively for Denver. When one man wants to stay and the other wants to switch, you got problems. And Steven curls to his dream spot, dead center, turn and rake.
21 goals for Stevens, who is one of 8 20-goal scorers for Gary Gate. First tally for the Orange in more than 19 minutes.
And here we go.
Mullen wins the faceoff, going all the way. Kleben, the veto. It's as good a look you'll see off the faceoff. That's what Syracuse did so well in the Towson game last week, winning faceoffs, generating offense off those wins. Long outlet pass, buddy pass, it's turned over. Denver getting a little sloppy. Three minutes and change to go, third quarter. Pioneers with an 8-4 lead. The winner will play Notre Dame next weekend in Philadelphia. The Irish, the defending national champions. A winner against Georgetown yesterday, avenging their only loss this season. Hiltz, right on the crease. He finds English for his second goal. And you get the sense the pendulum has swung to Syracuse.
It has, and their fans back in it. This is what happens when you double team and slide upfield to Syracuse eyes and ball carriers. English and Stevens have been the heroes, the 2 portal pickups from Princeton. Pick used effectively, defender comes halfway. He's caught in no man's land. Should I stay? Should I go? Watch it, the adjacent defender now step upfield at Hiltz. Little lever pass from cradle to finish really quick. These guys have globetrotter skills, man. When they get that ball moving, look out.
Hiltz, Stevens, Sam English all played at Culver Academy. The Culver connection. Face-off violation on Syracuse, Denver ball. 2 goals in 52 seconds by the Orange have made this a 3-goal game.
Yeah, one more here to end this quarter would completely flip the tenor of this game and put a lot of pressure on the Pios. In playoff lacrosse, it's so important that you win the last minute of each quarter.
There's Jack Tortolani. His dad, Justin, was Bill Tierney's first recruit at Princeton, and Justin had a huge hand in that 92 run to Princeton's first national championship. Tortolani, Silstra buries it. Second goal for J.J. Silstrup, 29 on the season.
The answer, Silstrup with a quick release, but Tortolani does a masterful job here. He's a big dude. He's 6'3", senior out of Gilman, which is right down Charles Street. Watch him lean in this matchup. Okay, posts up, goes back and forth, Silstrop times his cut so well. So Tortolani draws the double, ball's in and out of his stick. You mentioned his dad, Justin, being a great goal-scoring attackman for those Bill Tierney early Tigers team. His mom, Kim Simons, the former women's coach at Georgetown. She and Stanwick Birch's head coach that led the Hoyas to a national title game against Maryland.
And she is one of the all-time great athletes, period, at Princeton. Justin Tortolani in that 92 run for Princeton to the championship. Game-winning goals in the quarterfinal against Maryland, the semifinal against North Carolina. And then, of course, Andy Moe had the famous game winner in the final in double overtime against Syracuse. Lampert, Silstrop, turned away, 2 minutes to go in the third. Denver's lead at 4.
Smart, smart, smart. You sniff it out, it's not there. Matt Brown using, what did he say? He said clock and score, clock and score. You got to understand clock and score.
And this is a team that has relied on its defense. Matt Brown said the offense still evolving, evidenced by the changing midfield lines. Part of that is by design, too. He doesn't want to give teams a scouting report.
That was innovative, though, the way he says we have a bunch of midfielders, and I like to mix it up to put pressure on the opponent, but I also like to mix it up to keep guys on their toes.
Kelly draws the slide. Towson native. That is the first goal today. Wow, hands free. Boy, they gave a great look to Cody Malowski.
Webster's dictionary of hands free.
Hands free, time and room.
Everything but the bullseye.
Lampert is speedy. 40-plus points. Figueres shading him. Lampert gets top side. Figueres almost knocked it away. Kelly picks it up. Shot clock at 4, at 3, at 2. I'm not sure Denver realizes. Lampert shoots. Does it count? Did it beat the shot clock? The officials say yes.
He is so quick, such a spark. Gary Gate wants an explanation here in terms of the shot clock and the horn going off. And it'll be worth taking a look at.
The ball has to be out of the stick before the shot clock hits 0. 1.
Left-handed, no angle, low-to-low shot.
We need to see the shot clock.
Mark late on the stick. You know, his top hand is not flowing to the ball. That's a situation when a player shoots 5-hole on a goalie, you got to tomahawk chop that top hand and bring the head of the stick down to the turf.
Let's take another look here. The first one, it's where is the ball? Is it out of the cross? 1, freeze it. Can we freeze it? Yeah, it looks like he got it out. Oh boy, that's awfully close. I think that ball is out. Either way, I think it's going to be almost impossible to overturn. Ruling on the field again was goal.
You need decimals, right? You need tenths of a second?
You do.
Lampert nearly scored a miraculous goal in the Big East semifinal game against Villanova. A crease violation, a goal mouth violation that would have tied that game up.
Q, you have talked so often about how the goals at the end of quarters hit differently. Denver today, a goal with 49 seconds to go in the first, 30 seconds to go in the second, and if this one holds, another goal now in the final minute of the third.
Huge, especially in playoff games.
Do you see anything here that could overturn this?
I would say no.
Again, indisputable evidence to overturn the call.
A tough afternoon for Coach Gate. He's got to stay positive and encouragement. That's one thing Gary is known for. He is players coach. He's going to try to maximize your strengths as a player. He's very positive. And he's looking for answers and solutions right now. These two angles are synced.
Yep, synced together. Watching the shot clock on the screen on your right. We need to rewind that just a touch. And you talk about fractions, decimal
The ball
points.
is out of the stick right there. Before that. Right there.
Without the fractional seconds play, it's just going to be impossible here, I think, to overturn this call. This goal, I got a feeling, is going to count. Yeah, they are taking a long time to look at this.
Thought it was interesting how infrequently video review was used in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Saw one review yesterday.
Guys, after using conclusive evidence to overturn the call, it's going to stand as a good goal.
That's kind of what we saw.
Yeah.
Now, for a moment, it looked like Denver, again, was unaware of the shot clock, and then Lampert had the shot clock directly in his line, just put it on cage, and beats Will Mark.
He's had a great year, Anish.
He has.
He is really he and Silstrop are their primary passers, their initiators. He creates offense. I think he's picked his spots in this game really well and uses his speed and that acceleration, that change of speed, to his advantage. Michael Lampert, senior from Massachusetts.
Denver today has scored 3 times in the final minute of a quarter. +9 shot advantage for the Pioneers, +5 on the scoreboard. More chatter between the officials prior to the face-off. Mullen, the freshman, against Stathakis, one of 7 Denver players who returned for a 5th season. The lineage of face-off man recently for Denver has been strong. Trevor Baptiste and Hatiti Erlin as a transfer. 5 years of Stathakis. Pios win the face-off, a chance to tack on. Nobody picks up the pole. Bounce shot blocked. Malowski chasing after it in the corner. And we got a procedure call against Denver. Syracuse ball. 20 seconds to go, 3rd quarter.
Push, push, push.
Carter Rice steered toward the sideline. Gets it across. 10 seconds. English to Hiltz. Turned away, and quarter number 3 has 2 seconds left. English bounces one on cage. Cleveland got a piece of that one as well. Malcolm in the middle of it all for Denver. The Pioneers 15 minutes to getting to championship weekend in Matt Brown's first season as head coach. This was a 4-3 game. At halftime, Denver exploded for 6 goals in that 3rd quarter, a 5-goal cushion for the Pios. As we head to the 4th quarter, winner plays Notre Dame next Saturday in Philadelphia in the national semifinals. Boy, Denver's just been quicker to the ground balls today, the 50-50 balls. They've been the aggressor from the outset. Let's see if the Pios slam on the brakes. They do. Matt Brown says, time and score. We got a big lead. We're going to play the clock.
Yeah, and Denver's face-off unit. You got Stathakis obviously on the draws at 61%, but they put A.J. Mercurio on a wing, and a lot of times it's Casey Wilson on another wing. They're great at grounders. Stathakis never falls down. He's got uncanny strength and balance, and he typically gets better as the game goes on.
Richie Connell, tornadoes from the wing. Underhanded shovel behind the cage. Now Silstrup. Missed the cage, the back up to Lampert. 30 to shoot.
Wake-up shot by JJ, the hero of their Hopkins win, the road opener. This is a team that's made 4 trips to Baltimore.
This year?
This year, 27,000 miles flown. A-list, they're all A-list on Southwest.
Yeah, but what does that get you, really?
A free drink.
Aren't there 9,000 people who pre-board on Southwest?
Preferred seating.
Race feed, Malowski clobbered.
My last flight, I sat next to a 100-year-old woman.
Shot clock running down.
Flying up to Central New York to go to a birthday party for another 100-year-old who's turning 100 in Binghamton.
I flew Southwest a couple of years ago. I was number 3, and I think 70 people boarded before I did.
I love it. Tell you, go to BWI here in Baltimore, and it's like Lacrosse Central. You'll see teams flying in, flying out. There should be something commemorating the sport of lacrosse at BWI. That's how important the sport is to local commerce, whether it's college, high school, club. The lacrosse capital.
One of the stories today, Joey Spolina has been bageled by Denver's defense. No points, no shots. This one kicked in front. And that's going to be in the crease, Denver ball. Oh no, they're going to say hold. So Syracuse gets another possession here, down by 5.
Spolina is such a polarizing figure in the sport, especially on social media. Gaudy points and days like today. I've always found him to be hard. It's hard to quantify him because he's so good in certain departments.
Michael Leo with a hat trick to make it a 4-goal game.
Leo, Stevens, and English have been bright spots. This game's still wide open, okay? 4 goals in 12 minutes, that is nothing. Leo's got speed and a strong left hand. Only a sophomore. They do a good job with this pick, and that's twice now that Denver has struggled with the pick action and the assignment responsibilities.
And Leo's played a lot of attack today. Spolina and Hiltz, quiet. Spolina, no goals, no points. Hiltz, no goals, 1 assist.
Denver's been a team on film when you watch them. They'll switch on everything. They're not really matchup oriented.
And guess who? Stathakis wins the faceoff. Up to Casey Wilson, 59 in red, described by Matt Brown as a 5th pole.
Now's not the time to take your foot off the gas if you're Denver. Okay, with the shot clock, we've learned that teams that become too conservative, they end up losing games like this. If you're Denver, you get to 12, 13 goals, you're probably going to win. If you stay on 10 or 11, this thing could get dicey.
Tortolani against Levine. Picked up. Good takeaway by Syracuse and Nick Kakemo. The Orange will set up the clear. Very little in transition for Syracuse today. Denver has made this a half-field game.
That stings. That stings. Denver does a good job of getting their heels to the midline. The 3 attackmen get all the way back, and they try to jam up the middle of the field. It paid off, an unforced error on the clear.
A dozen turnovers for Syracuse. And Q, if this was a faster-paced ACC game, you don't bat an eyelash at 12 turnovers. In a game like this, where possessions are more drawn out and sometimes few and far between, that number jumps out a little more. Lampert on Kakemo. Carlson can't get it. And hit the pipe. It resets the shot clock to 60. Sun starting to peek out from the clouds. As McKelly now will take his time.
First time since Friday we've seen the sun here in Charm City.
Sun's been sleeping in this weekend.
Now you're seeing, with the reset, complete patience by Denver.
Following this game, it's Virginia and Johns Hopkins. Those two meeting for the 17th time in the NCAA tournament. Carlson behind the cage. Shot clock now dips under 10. Mark got a piece. Dwan off the ground.
Good job by Dwan. He's had a strong season, 35 in white and orange. Billy Dwan III. Love the fact that they got the names on the jerseys, and I love the fact that he pays tribute to his grandfather.
And his dad, obviously, a three-time All-American and a teammate of yours at Johns Hopkins.
His grandfather used to film all our games, and some of his VHS footage is the only footage remaining from those games in the late 80s.
Uncle Matt, and assistant at Loyola. He knows this area well. Syracuse down 4. That'll reset the shot clock.
He's from Yorktown, so he's a legend. Isn't everyone
What is
from
this,
Yorktown?
a Carcaterra broadcast now?
Everyone from Yorktown's a legend, right?
That's what the media will have you believe. And here comes Spallina. Hiltz skips it across. Leo. Good defense by Denver. Still plenty of time. Stevens now.
Man-to-man defense.
Backs in.
Tight splits. Look how much they just clog up the middle.
English shoots wide. Now daring Syracuse to beat Denver and Cleveland from the outside.
Different from what you'll see, let's say, in game 2, where Virginia will come out and play the ball aggressively. Johns Hopkins, the point of the spear.
Spallina bounces it offline. Finn Thompson on cleanup duty. Not over yet.
Three-goal margin with 8:30 to go. This game is full on. Thompson in the right place at the right time, but this high-level skill. Watch the severe angle that this sophomore from Toronto has to shoot at. Spallina's shot hits Malcolm in the right shin and brushes right to Thompson, who's hovering on the backside.
The last time Syracuse got to within 3 at 8-5, Denver responded with 2 goals in the span of about 2 minutes.
How big is this next goal? How big is this next goal?
First, it starts with the face-off. Mullen wins it for the Orange.
Tell you one thing.
Teams getting their personnel on.
And East, one thing you can say about Syracuse this year, coming in at 12-5, battle-tested in close games. They've lost a bunch of heartbreakers. They've won some close games as well. Nearly got him with the hidden ball trick.
Four of Syracuse's 5 losses have been by 2 goals or less, including 3 in overtime.
Cleveland caught a break right there. He did not see that.
No.
Just shocking that that could happen in a game of this magnitude. Your defenders on the perimeter really have to help you out. It's hard for this generation of young athletes to maintain their focus over a 2-hour period, but you got to. That's assignment number 1.
Connell Amtrax through the Syracuse defense.
That's going nowhere. Connell hits the eject button.
Railway ended. Big physical Dodger.
Denver stays on 10, and they're not going to win this game. They need to get to 11 or 12.
Syracuse has not been held below 10 all season. Denver continues to play clock and score. Lambert playing keep away. Shot clock again down to 8. Tortolani. That was a good idea, and this is going to be a shot clock violation.
That's far too conservative, in my opinion. We'll see how it goes.
Trujillo, the punt return clear. English today, 2 goals and an assist. Looking to get back to championship weekend. He and Stevens play catch. They were there 2 years ago for Matt Madelon's Princeton Tigers. Spallina, rocker step. Leo's been the offensive star, 3 goals. There's the slide, good recovery. Syracuse misses the cutter. Another takeaway by Denver. Caldwell. Orange get it back. Denver never established possession, so the shot clock doesn't reset. That was close. Leo, stutter step.
Leo wants his left.
Now Spallina gets to the middle. Trail check Caldwell. Loose ball. Vacuumed by the Pioneers. Their 10th caused a turnover. 5.5 to go in regulation.
Terrific effort and hustle by Denver's defense, chasing and trailing Spallina, who couldn't run away. And as he went to shoot, he leaves the trail available. Left side, he was screaming, "What's the trail?" I think it's Chris Caldwell, redshirt freshman.
Kelly plays keep away from Alexo. Denver continues to bleed this clock. Olowski behind the cage. Juan, a physical defender, stays with him. Paulson. Major to dodge down the alley. Inverts Levine. 2-man game with Silstra. Carlson, backhanded shovel over the cage. The backup belongs to Silstra and Denver. 4:30 to go in this 4th quarter. Shot clock at 14.
Pio's subbing off already, bringing defensive personnel on.
Denver has not scored in this 4th quarter. Lambert against Figueres. And they are just content to throw it away.
They're operating
and set up on defense. They don't think Syracuse
can get to 10.
Can score 3 goals against a settled Denver defense.
Well, and their great fogo, Alex Stathakis. A lot of confidence in this defense and this goaltender.
Out of the box comes Finn Thompson. And Leo win the matchup on the high wing. Freehill, the Big East Defensive Player of the Year. With him, Stevens up top off the crossbar. Ricochets back toward midfield. Kakemo over to Stevens. That was a great look. Now Hiltz draws the slide behind the back feed to Thompson. Spallina tracks it down. Less than 3.5 to go. Hiltz with the left hand, hesitation, shoots high, and makes it a 2-goal game with 3:18 left.
They're on their feet, 3 straight goals. Leo, Thompson, and now Hiltz. An amazing look from Stevens, who rattled that one off the iron in the crossbar, but the pressure continues. Orange bringing the heat now on a 3-goal run. This baby ain't over yet.
Denver's won 11 of 21. Stathakis has taken every draw for the Pioneers. We get a flag. It's a face-off violation. And Syracuse will have to go man down.
Fouls on white, 3-6 delay, 30 seconds. White 3-6 delay, 30.
Third face-off violation of the half against Syracuse.
Jump the whistle.
And Mullen had been 7 of 12. And so Denver goes man up for the first time today. We got a full 80 on the shot clock. To me, this is now more about playing keep away, I'd imagine, for Denver.
I agree.
Than trying to score with the extra man.
I agree, and it's interesting that Syracuse goes to the Junkyard Dogs. Their squad of 5 guys they bring off the bench to kill penalties. And I only say that because this penalty is going to end, and then they're going to be all even with this group of 5 who are going to have to clear the ball and effectively stop Denver. In the reverse order, you're going to stop them before you clear it. It's the unit that's arguably cost them 2 key moments during the season.
Puts a lot on the goalie, Will Mark.
They're good at man down. It's just now that we're even.
Even strength. English coming out of the box.
So now you got good matchups if you're Denver's offense.
Oh, that was almost a turnover. Could be a turnover near the sideline. It's picked up by Syracuse. Orange catch a break. And now they will fast break. Cuse pushing. Thompson fires off the crossbar and ricochets to Denver, the 4th pipe that Syracuse has hit today. Denver had an opportunity. They decide to hold up.
That's a stinger.
We come up on 2 minutes to play. Timeout, Matt Brown. 2:08 to go. 2 huge pipes in this 4th quarter. Stevens hitting the crossbar, and then Finn Thompson had a great look.
Will Mark out of the net now.
Now Denver has the ball. Syracuse will press out.
Watch Lampert's speed.
He's got high-end speed. Alexo trying to stay with him. Run, Rabbit, run. Lampert.
Full lap. Look at Alexo. Great effort.
Magellan just circumnavigating, and then his pass is picked off. So Syracuse gets it back. The Orange having trouble. Figueres dumps it back to Mark. 1:42 to go.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Trujillo accelerates upfield. Now Leo on the high wing.
Timeout.
Gary Gates says timeout. 1:35 to go. Syracuse needs a goal, and it needs a face-off win.
You gotta have respect for Sam Alexo for running basically 9/10 of a lap with Lampert and staying with him, staying in front of him. Watch 48 in white just hustle his tail off. This is unbelievable that he doesn't give up on this. Lampert is trying to do a Michael Johnson 200 around the outside. Look at 48. He won't go away, turns him, and that forces the pass back, and then his teammate cleans up the trash. But 48, Alexo is just gassed at this point. But what a great hustle play that is. Senior from Spalding, which is down near Annapolis. Now, could he be scraping on this near side off a down screen to catch a feed from Leo and then distribute? Absolutely.
Yeah, he's effective off ball. Leo will initiate. Over to Hiltz. He's come alive here in this 4th quarter. Almost a ward off by Hiltz. Sam English. Stevens against the shorty. Help coming. Didn't have anything on it. His stick was checked. Klebans got it. Denver will try to clear it. If they can clear it and keep the ball, they're heading to Philadelphia. Big stick check, Dwan, but Denver gets it back. And the Pios turn it over. 54 seconds to go. The door still slightly ajar for the 4th-seeded Syracuse Orange.
Syracuse out of timeouts.
Here comes English. Beats inside. Stevens had the look. Denver's got the backup.
I tell you, this is one you want back. You throw in the pipes, and then this from close range from about 6 yards. The Orange, every opportunity. Denver putting this thing into neutral prematurely. They opened the door, but Syracuse couldn't finish.
Anderson ahead to Carlson. 20 seconds. Denver up 2. Ball's on the ground. Denver able to get it back. Timeout, Matt Brown. The sideline for the Pioneers can sense it. Three defenders converge on Lampert. He chucks it to the far side of the field. 10 seconds to go. Denver's got a 2-goal lead. The Orange knock it away, but it's going to be the Pioneers. Denver scratches the 7-year itch. In Matt Brown's first season at the helm, the Pios are headed to championship weekend. Let's welcome in Denver head coach Matt Brown. First season as head coach here at your alma mater, Matt. Put into words what it means to have an opportunity to play next weekend.
Wow, it's a proud day to be a Pioneer. And first off, credit's got to go to Syracuse. That was a heck of a lacrosse game. That's what we look forward to in May. Both teams went out there and they laid it all on the line. They battled, and for us, we're going back somewhere where we haven't been in a while. So this team, this group of guys hasn't really experienced success like this year. And so proud of our guys, so proud of the culture that our super seniors and our seniors have created with this group for this year, and looking forward to practice on Monday.
Matt, I hear emotion in your voice. Where did your mind go as soon as the final horn sounded?
Well, I was, it was 2 seconds left, and I still thought, they had a chance. This is the way you are as a coach. So it was great intensity throughout the course of the whole game from our bench, and I just credit to all of our players. They dug in. We weren't perfect by any means. We made some mistakes, but these guys just kept believing in each other, and they're going to the pinnacle of lacrosse, which is Memorial Day weekend.
Matt, tell us about the defense, because it was outstanding today. You hold the team to Syracuse to 8 goals. I think they haven't been held to single digits all season. What was most critical for the Pioneer, D?
The intensity, Quint. There was the communication and the intensity. Lots of picks, lots of sweeps, lots of ball movement, lots of off-ball cuts. We had to be on point today. That's a really talented team. They've got a ton of skill. Coach John Gallant had these guys prepared, just like he has all year long. We got a veteran group down there, guys that love being together, and they wanted one more week together.
What's it been like being in charge now as the lone coach, head coach of a veteran group that came back to school, for this very day?
Yeah, it's amazing, and I'm so thankful for them, and I'm so honored that all these guys came back, and I'm so thankful to Coach T and everything that he's done for me. And I know he's up in the booth today doing the radio, so Coach, we're going back to Philly.
Coach, I'll leave you with this. You've been around this game for a long time. You've had roots in the Midwest and in Denver for a long time. A Denver-Notre Dame Final Four in 2024 doesn't seem as far-fetched as even maybe it did 10 years ago. What does that say about how far this sport has grown and how far it's come?
Well, the sport's grown tremendously, especially in the last 10 to 15 years. And, credit to the both pro leagues, credit to college lacrosse. And we're so honored to be back in Philly. And, we haven't played Notre Dame in a long, long time. And, they're the #1 team in the country for the reason. So looking forward to next weekend.
We'll see you in Philadelphia. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Matt Brown, Denver head coach. The Pioneers, congratulations on a tremendous run that will take them to Philadelphia and a championship weekend. First time since 2017. They'll do it with a first-year head coach. They'll do it with 7 fifth-year seniors and a defense that is the backbone of this team. They shut down Syracuse for a 10-8 win in the quarterfinals. We still have one more quarterfinal game, one more ticket to punch. Johns Hopkins and Virginia still to come here in Towson.